Welcome back to New to Medical Device Sales. I am your host, Jacob McLaughlin, and we are coming to you this evening to get you guys a podcast. It is about 9 o'clock. We are having a late one here, nice and long day, but hey, got to get it in any way we can. Sam and I just got back from a walk now. He's just chilling, just ate his food, but you guys don't care about that. That's a dog. You want to learn about medical device sales. So let's get into it. First off, if you guys are listening, a 5-star review helps us grow this channel. A press and a like if you're watching on YouTube will help us go. And then again, all the other good stuff that we talk about, the course, the t-shirts, everything that you're interested. If you want to, you can reach out to social medias. Again, LinkedIn, New to Medical Device Sales, Jake McLaughlin, all the above. You guys can reach out. So wanted to get that out of the way. But getting into it today, I've gotten a lot of calls like we always talk about, and that's usually where I base my stuff off of, is like calls, conversations I'm having. And so the talk I wanted to have about today was basically how to guarantee you're going to get a job in medical device sales. And so the reason I'm having this conversation and I want to get this out to you guys, because I think it's going to be super helpful, is I've had a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. And when I tell you guys I get on a lot of phone calls, I counted today because I wanted to see, what am I getting on? And today I had 33 phone calls. So I wanted to just let you guys know, when I tell you I'm getting on lots of phone calls every single day, I do. I promise you, I do. I probably spend the majority of my day on phone calls, doing stuff, talking with just different people, and then also for work I have to get on calls and all that good stuff. But yeah, and just to mention, that's not even with the Zoom calls and all that stuff, but getting into how to guarantee you're gonna get a job in medical device sales. And so really going into it, I've had people telling me they want to break into medical device sales. They'll do whatever it takes. They're willing to go above and beyond, but they're not. And I smile and I say that because I've had people, and this is just an example. I've had people tell me, you tell me what time works and I'll make sure I'm available. And then I'll just give them a call, right? And then it's, hey, I'm at the gym, can you call me later? And I'm always like, yeah, no problem, always happy to, but like for me, the conversation that I always bring up with people is, you say that you're willing to do everything, and I've brought this up on almost every podcast that we've done lately, and it feels like is like saying, I've had a lot of 12-minute workouts, and I've said that on the last podcast or the next one, I can't remember, but just having the conversation of like, whenever somebody was actually taking time to speak with me, I made sure to make myself available because I was asking them for their time and their advice and their expertise, and again, this is never just an about me. Like, don't think this is just me giving my experience and telling you guys, this is how other reps are feeling, because I've had those conversations with other reps. I actually just had a meeting today with another rep. And so the conversation I just want to like tell you guys is, most people tell me they're willing to do whatever it takes. They're willing to move across the country. They're willing to work 14-hour days until it comes that time to do it, until it comes to the day to work a 14-hour day, till it comes to the time to actually move across country. That's a conversation I had with somebody today. They're going through the interview process with a great company, and they're getting decently far and have a good opportunity here, and that they were talking about, hey, I'm ready to make the move. I'm ready to go. And we had a conversation yesterday about like, hey, you ready to go? And they're like, yeah, I would make the move tomorrow. Like, it's where I want to be. Awesome. And then not even 24 hours later, that conversation has changed to where it's like, that's a pretty big move. I don't know if it's the right choice. And again, the reason I'm saying this to you guys is that, again, most people will say, yes, I'm ready, but they're not. And that's the conversation I want to have today with you guys. And it's not going to be, I hope it's not going to be long, but the conversation today is, I love Parks and Rec, and Ron's my boy. He's a good old man. If you guys haven't watched Parks and Rec, it's one of those shows that you're just going to like laugh at. You let your brain go to mush and hang out. So it's how I let my brain relax watching shows like that. But he says, and I'm going to use the 3-year-old word because I want to be censored on here. It's like, don't half butt anything, whole butt everything, and you can fill in the gap of where it is. But basically, it's like, don't go half at anything, because most people are trying to half. I'm going to try this and then this and then this and then this, and then what ends up happening is you end up sucking, or you end up not giving what you should be giving to the person who is giving everything they got. There's no plan B. That's burn the boats. Let's get it going. those are the people who are going to be successful. And so when I talk about how I can tell and how I can guarantee you're going to be successful in medical device sales, I've already had the conversation 3 times today where people tell me this is what they want. It's all they've wanted. And within 24 hours to 42 or 48 hours, within a week, they're like, I had another opportunity. I don't know, right? And so they tell me that they're so committed, that they're ready to do whatever they can, that they're going to be the best. But then another opportunity, another golden nugget comes in and something different. And then they're like, well, I'm ready to change, right? And that's what the conversation I'm going to have with you guys today is. That's why you're not successful. That's why you're not breaking in. That's not why you where you want to be. And this is where I get real passionate for you guys. Screw medical device. Get medical device sales out of here. Let's just talk real life, human beings. Whatever you want to be in life, go full bore at it. That was actually a conversation I had today with somebody who's been considering medical device sales. And they've been going through the process. And I'm like, I don't think this is for you. And it's not because I don't think you can make it. I don't think you're committed. And the conversation was like, I think you're right. And I'm like, well, I know I'm right. I can tell by just the commitment of this conversation. I can tell by the commitment that you're giving in this effort and the opportunity. And you're not whole into it. So don't do it. Like, this isn't about me. This isn't about doing med device sales. It's about what do you want to do with your life? What drives you? What lights you on fire? What makes you want to go above and beyond? What makes you want to, who cares about the money? You're going to do it no matter what. That's the conversation I want to have with you guys today. That's what you got to find. That's where you got to be. And once you can be at that level, then you're going to be successful. And it doesn't matter what you do, right? So the conversation I'm having, I'm getting so passionate about it because this is what I truly believe deep down. It doesn't matter what you do as long as you're passionate about it, as long as you love it, as long as you're willing to do whatever it takes, you will be successful. And when I say burn the boats, I mean burn the freaking boats. Stop sitting around. Stop saying maybe. Stop saying in 5 years. Stop saying maybe next year. Just go and do it. Because at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, if you're not successful, if you don't get where you want to be, at least you can say you tried. And that's more than a lot of people can say. So wherever you're at in life, just go and try it. The worst case scenario, let me just give you guys the worst case scenario real quick. The worst case scenario is you go and try the thing that you're thinking about doing, you fail, and you go back to doing what you're doing at the current location you're at. And I don't mean the same company. I mean when I was back in Ottawa, Iowa. Worst case scenario, if I moved out to Arizona and tried fitness, I knew I had 2 months worth of money. Worst case scenario, it didn't work out, and I moved back to Actionable, Iowa, which I was already doing. And it would have took 2-3 months, right? And I said this to everybody. Everyone goes lifelong, right? Like you're going to think, oh, I'm making this decision. It's my lifelong. When was the last thing you did anything last time you did anything lifelong? I'll tell you, never. You changed your mind from 4 months ago. You know, like go try stuff, get experiences. That's the only way you're going to learn. So again, I know that sometimes this isn't all about medical device sales, but this really is. If you want to break into medical device sales, you better freaking commit and you better be like, this is what I want to do. And I don't care if it takes me 3 years, I'm going to break in. Because everyone always calls me and messages me and says, Jacob, it's so amazing. I can't believe you got in and all the success you've had. But they really forget, they don't go back the 100 episodes because we have 120 some or 113 now, 115, whatever it is. They don't go back 100 episodes to where I was like, I'm a personal trainer. I don't care if it takes 2 years, I'll do it and I'll break in. That's why I'm successful. It's because it wasn't about the money at the time. It wasn't about what I was trying to do. It was just like, I'm going to break in because this is a goal. This is what I want to do and I know what I'm wanting to do and I don't care what it takes. I know I have the heart. I know I'm willing to work hard. I know I have the traits to be successful and I'm just going to do it until I get the opportunity. And I don't care how long it takes. I'm not putting a timeline on myself. I had a goal, but that wasn't what was going to make me. So it's the same thing for you guys. When you want to decide that you're going to break into medical device sales, you know what you're going to do? You're going to fully commit. And this is what I told the person who didn't fully commit. I said, if you aren't going to fully commit, please do not go through with this interview because you will just look like so bad because you're not going to put the effort in. And guess what? We're in sales. That's all we do. We tell what people are doing. We can see. If somebody lies to me, I know it, right? I can tell on the phone. If somebody lies to me, how long they pause, what the pitch of their voice goes to, like the tone of their voice. I can tell, right? Like I can tell all the time with the course, this is great, I'm gonna do it. They don't do it. I already knew before they hung up they weren't gonna do it, right? And so that's the conversation I have with you guys is whatever, I don't care what it is, but the difference between winners and losers is when winners just go, they just commit and they're like, I don't care what's going to happen, I'm going to figure it out. And guess what? I have a plan, but that plan's probably going to blow up, and I hope it goes to plan, but it's probably not. And guess what? I'm not going to sit here and whine and complain and feel like a victim when it doesn't. I'm just going to roll with the punches, figure it out, and get on to the next step to go towards the goal that I was going for. And that's the conversation I want to have with you guys. If you want to break into medical device sales, go for it. Do everything, because if you don't, you're going to have somebody like me who didn't care how long it took me I was going to break in. You didn't care about the money. I will do whatever because I wanted to break in. I'll beat you. I'll beat you because I'll work harder. I'll beat you because I have more passion. I'll beat you because it's not about me. It's about a bigger goal than beyond me. I'm going to beat you no matter how hard you want it. And that's what I'm just saying. And I say this to my students. And again, this is never a bragging point. It's just you guys, if you guys have listened to my podcast long enough, you know how hard I work. You know that I wake up at almost 4 a.m. every morning. You know, some mornings I sleep in, but most mornings I can sit here and with all smiles on my face say, not many people worked harder than me today. Most people didn't work harder than me. Most people aren't running more businesses at my age than me, right? Like, and again, that's an ego thing for me, but I'm just saying to you guys, everybody compares themselves to like their friends they know. How about you start comparing yourselves to the real people going at it? How about you go compare yourselves? Like I say this to all my students. They're all like, I've done enough. And I'm like, that's great. If you and I go up against a pot or go up in an interview, would you beat me? And the answer is almost always no. And then I said, then you haven't done enough. Because that's who you're going up against. You're going against people like me. You're going against people who are hungry. You're going against people who have kids to feed. You're going against people who this is what they've wanted to do for 20 years. You're going against the people who've gone to done sales experience that they don't want to do for the goal of what they're about to do. And you think by doing half the work or just kind of wanting it, you're going to beat them? Heck no. You're not even going to get close. You're going to get smashed, and you deserve to get smashed. Like you deserve to lose. And that's the thing I'm going to tell you guys. I don't sugarcoat it. If you don't put in the work, I hope you lose. If you don't go into go into the interview process and be like, man, I did everything possible and I know I'm the right person. If you're not feeling that way, I hope you get crushed, because that's the only way you're going to learn. That's the only way you're going to figure out and be like, man, I'm not putting enough into it. Because we live in this society of like, oh, it's all good. No, it's not good. You sucked. Like, I don't know what else to say. You didn't get the job. You sucked. You messed up on something, and you need to learn from it. And you can't be boo-hoo. The amount of times I'd be like, the manager was mean. Screw off. Like, are you kidding me? It's because you sucked. You didn't come prepared. They weren't mean. You just can't take it. And I had to have this hard conversation with one of my students today. The conversation was like, I don't think this is going to go well. I talked to a person and it wasn't the greatest conversation, and now I have to talk to him again. I said, welcome to freaking sales. Do you think I have every time I go into a doctor, they're like, Jacob? No, they're like, what the heck? There's been times I've been told to screw off. Guess what? Got to be with that doctor next week. You better figure out how to make it better. You better figure out how to make an awkward situation not awkward. You know, like that's the conversation I have with so many people is they want to break into this industry. They say they have what it takes, but you guys don't even know the smallest parts of what it takes to break in. You're like, oh, I watched a podcast. I watched one of your YouTubes. Great. Awesome. Guess what? You're going up against me. Now, when you break in, it's you versus me, and I'm going to crush your soul. And that is not me being mean. That's me saying it with a smile, but it's just like, you're not going to work as hard as me. You're not going to put in as many hours. You're not going to be on a podcast at 9:30 at night. You're not going to be just took your dog for a walk, it's 8:50 and you're listening to your second podcast of the day trying to get better on 1% of like leadership. That's what I was just doing, right? And again, that's just me, not here to brag. I'm just saying what I'm doing. I'm saying I'm obsessed with this stuff. I'm obsessed with becoming the best rep. I'm obsessed with helping people. I'm obsessed with medical device sales. I'm obsessed with getting better, obsessed with being the best version of myself, of growing, and you're going up against me. And if you don't have the passion, mother, I am going to crush your soul and I'm going to take it. And if you don't have the attitude of like, you ain't taking my soul, I'm going to take your soul, right? Then don't do this, because you're not going to be, it is not worth it, right? And I sit here and I laugh and I'm joking with you guys, but I'm dead serious. Like, there's too many people calling me who are like I kind of want it. It just sounds good. Yeah, this is going to be nice. And then they're like, I tell them it's a 12-hour day and they're like, that doesn't sound good. I'm like, get the heck out of here. Like, you are weak. And medical device sales is not a place for weak. And I'll tell you this. There's people who break in who are weak, 100%. And know what you don't see? You don't see them at the leaderboard. You don't see them on the top. You don't see them crushing it, right? And again, we've had this talk a million times. It just matters where you guys want to be. Like, I'm not somebody who just wants to come in and just barely get by. I'm here to make an impact. I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to be the best version I can be. Like I just said, I'm not here to be on the bottom. I'm here to be on the top of the list, right? And that's the attitude you have to have, because I'll end on this one with you guys, is because I just had a talk with a rep. And if you come in, we've talked about this before, we've had people where they're like, oh, there's 30 people applying or 50 people applying, and they're like, oh no. And I'm like, I went up against 500 people and won, and I'm like, you betcha. Like, there could have been 1,000 and I would have been ready to go, right? Like, that's the different attitudes. And the reason I'm saying that, it's what I'm facing with right now. What do you go when you go talk to somebody and they're like, no, we use your competitor and we like them better? For now, right? That's my mindset for now. Give me 6 months. Give me 3 months. Give me a year. I'll be here, right? I'm gonna change this. That's my mindset. Most people are like, oh, I tried, right? That's why you're gonna lose. Like, I love the hunt. I love the challenge. I love the opportunity. And you know what? Maybe I lose. Maybe I lose 9 out of 10 times. But I'm gonna get that one win, and that one win is gonna be really good, right? And so that's the conversation you guys have. You want to break into medical device sales, you got to burn the freaking boats. You got to fully commit, and because if you don't, you're going to lose to people who do. You're going to lose to people that I'm talking to on a daily basis that are like, I'm willing to quit my job right now to go for it. But in the same aspect, I talk to people every single day who are like, I will do whatever. I'm like, all right, make 20 calls. Well, I work a job. So did I. So does every other person. And let me just state that real quick, just for everybody listening. Everyone who's like, oh, it's so hard to break in, it's like a whole second time job. You know who knows that? Every single human being who broke in. Every single person interviewing right now is doing the second job that they have to do to get by. You're not alone. So stop being like, it's tough, I don't have time. Wake up earlier. Stay up later. I just had a talk with one of my students. Working a 9 to 5. Great. And I'm like, how many calls did you get? It wasn't as many as we talked about. And I said, all I hear is you got from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. to get calls done and get messages out, and you got from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. That's 9 hours. You got 9 hours every single day that you're not utilizing. And now let me make this very clear. I'm not saying you got to work all 9 hours, but when you tell me you can't send out certain messages and I'm like, it takes 20 minutes, you can't dedicate an hour of your day, but you just sat here and told me this is what you want to do, this is everything you need, this is all you want, it's your passion. You can't even find an hour a day when you have 9 extra. Like, that's what I'm telling to you guys. Everyone says they want it. Only the people who really want it will make time for it. So, on that positive note, we'll end it there. You want to get into medical device sales? Fully commit. Fully decide that this is what you want to do and break it. If you're just kind of thinking about it, guess what? You're probably not going to break in, because you're going to have people who are fully committed and willing to turn every stone and leave no stone unturned and do all the extra work and all the 100 hours and call all the other people that you won't do because they're willing to do whatever it takes to break in. That's how you'll know when you're ready to break in. So, I hope that's helpful. I hope this pumped you guys up. Hopefully it wasn't too negative, because it's never meant to be negative. This is just real talk of like, do you guys want to get hired or not? It's what I've joked around on this podcast all the time. I don't sit here to try to like, again, I hope it pumps you up. I hope you guys get excited. I hope you can hear the sarcasm and be like, man, I just want to go for it. Why? I hear Jacob, I want to go and be competitive against him. I want to beat him. I hope that's what you guys hear. But like, I'm sorry if you guys are like, I just don't think it. That's great that you know it now, right? Like, I hope you guys just are able to go attack it now, get after it, go make the life you want. Like, don't make excuses, just become who you want to become, because I've said this a million times with medical device sales and without it. Your life is just a reflection of you. It will be great and it will be awesome, or it will suck because of you. Nobody else. There could be stuff that happened in your life. Great. We all had stuff happen in our life. You can either decide to keep playing the fiddle and feeling bad for yourself, or you can decide to be like, hey, that happened. All right, time to move on. Time to go make the life I want. Time to go just live a freaking awesome life, because I'm going to create it and I'm just giving myself no other option. Do that. I like that one better. You guys will like that one better. So just get after it. I hope you guys have a great week. Again, if you guys are wanting to learn more about the course, I only have 3 spots open currently, and I'm going to be closing that out here soon. But if you guys are interested in the course, we just got another person hired. awesome. Full line sales rep, had no sales experience and came in as a full line sales rep. So we'll get some more testimonials out there. We will next week, we'll be sharing one of our people who actually broke in, did it in 4 weeks. They got in the course in 4 weeks. They broke in, got 2 job offers from top companies, signed a contract for a good amount, over 6 figures, and they are very happy, and we are all very happy. And so it's been very fun to see that. So if you guys are looking to take the next step, if you want that help breaking into medical device sales, check out the course, New to Medical Device Sales. The link is in the description. Again, otherwise you guys can reach out to me. Again, I am happy to get on all calls with you guys. I'm happy to help any way I can. That's what this is about. But I will tell you guys that, like, again, I always try to be as positive, but I'm just real with you guys. Like, I want you guys to be successful, come prepared, come ready to go, and know this is what you want to do. And if you guys are listening to this podcast or you're watching this YouTube and you're like, hey, I watched 2, please watch. I have over 100. I'm not saying you have to listen to all 100, but like check out a couple so you have an idea and then reach out. So again, I hope you guys have a great week. I'll talk to you on the next one and go after the life you want. Peace.